Why is it important to continue these stories? You have to know the past to be able to move forward to the present and to the future.
We'd like to thank our friends at B3 Glass and Duke's Diesel Repair for sponsoring Anthony Around Town and our Small Business Friday features. And now, on with the video. Greetings and salutations, everybody. Anthony here from Anthony Around Town, currently coming to you from the Cowboy Arts and Gear Museum here in downtown Elko. Now, those of you who've been keeping up with our content know that we were actually here a couple of days ago, this past Wednesday, to talk with Jan Peterson, the museum's director. Now, that visit with Jan was more like a story time. Jan considers herself an Elko history geek, so we showed up and we heard some fantastic tales about Elko's past. Today, we're back again, however, to talk specifically about the Cowboy Arts and Gear Museum itself. We want to know about this awesome local nonprofit organization, how it came to be, what its purpose is, and how it functions. Yes, this is our video version of our Small Business Friday features, so I think we just need to head inside, talk to Jan, and learn what we need to know about this cool spot. Let's go.
Well, it started actually in 2005 when Paula Wright and I and G.S. Garcia's granddaughter, Dee Dee White, and a good friend of hers, Linda Harris, we got together and we decided to write a book about the history and connections of G.S. Garcia and the J.M. Capriola Company. So we did. We wrote this book and we're quite proud of this book, Legacy of Silver and Saddles, and we sold the book everywhere and had a great time doing that. And then Paula unfortunately passed away and things kind of came to a lull for a little bit. About 1940, the Elko and Oil Power Company bought Garcia's building, began to use Garcia's building. I'm not sure when they really bought it. And they were here for the next 77 years in Garcia's building, knowing the legacy of the building, until 2016, when they built a fancy new building over across from DMV and consolidated several other properties up and down a 3-block stretch into one convenient, efficient place. Well, they knew the legacy of this building and were quite proud of it, and approached a group of us and said, if you will get a 501c3, the IRS tax-exempt nonprofit status, all that information, if you will do that, we will donate the building to you. They were very concerned not to have an abandoned building in downtown Elko, or have the look of an abandoned building. They briefly tried to sell it, and that didn't happen, and they were very conscious of this social responsibility. So I had just finished a job that had run out of funding and was footloose and fancy free, and got drafted to write this 501c3, which I dove in naively, this 23-page thing, wrote it up, made 3 copies of it, sent it off to the IRS 503c place in Kentucky with a prayer and crossed fingers, and it came back in 6 weeks' time with this official letter that said we had been granted this status, which for the IRS is screaming fast. We had also gotten a Nevada business license, nonprofit status, which was a 1-page form where you just list these people. So on our board are John Wright's the president and Sue Wright is the secretary. Tana and Mike Gallagher are our wonderful assistants. Tana's the treasurer. Mike is the helpful assistant doing whatever he's asked to do. And then NV Energy asked for a representative on the board. So we have Jay Tubbs, who was working for NV Energy at the time, and me as the director and only paid employee. And then NV Energy went one step further with this obligation that they had made, and they decided to restore the front of the building to look as it did when Mr. Garcia had built the building. So they dove into this and they wanted the bay windows put back. The power company, through its various names, in the late 50s had gone to a modern look and taken off the bay windows, and it looked crispy and new for 1960. So they put the bay windows back and restored the whole front to look as it did. And we opened on a preview. We had a little opening during Cowboy Poetry in 2017 and set up some exhibits of what the possibilities were down the road. And then NV Energy and Shell Creek Construction created this magnificent new front to it to look like it did in 1907 when the building was new. Then we brought out old cases that had been in the store when Garcia's had it and had given them to Mr. Capriola. And we borrowed from the Northeastern Nevada Museum some Garcia stuff that they had in the basement, including the Garcia horse, and had several other items loaned from people. Some are true treasures. It's all irreplaceable, wonderful stuff. And we opened with great expectation and hope and a lot of grace. And we have been open since our grand opening was in 2018. The purpose of the museum is to honor the traditions, the culture, the heritage of the American cowboy through the West. We're located right here in downtown Elko, right across the street from the Western Folklife Center, whose focus is on contemporary Western and cowboy lifestyles. We've got J.M. Capriola, who was intertwined with the Garcias from the very beginning of Capriola's Open. And another focus of opening the museum here downtown was to coordinate and be a companion to the Northeastern Nevada Museum, which I think of as a hub, and the rest of us are spokes. There's the California Trail Center and the Folklife Center, and of course Lamoille Canyon, and to increase tourism and visitation and awareness of all of the wonderful things culturally that Elko has, the Elko area has to offer. So I think we've been successful that way, and we bring the cultural tourists as to Elko. Cultural tourists are people who are interested in their heritage and want to know more about the town. We've just had a great time being here in downtown Elko and celebrating the craftsmanship of the American cowboy. Why is it important to continue these stories? You have to know the past to be able to move forward to the present and to the future, and to create these ties relating past experiences, whether it's your family or a town that you're living in, to make these relationable to what you are experiencing now. And people moved around a lot in the old days with not much more than what clothes they could put in a little valise, as they call them. And people are moving around a lot now, and there have been stock market crashes in the old days and stock market crashes now, and People mined then. We've been mining off and on here since 1869. We've got fancier equipment now, but we still are a mining community. And ranching has gone on since the railroad first arrived. And problems are the same, and parents and kids and the modern things that go on and the adaptability to it. And museums are what show the comparison and between the old and the present and what can happen in the future. Well, we are open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5, closed Sunday and Monday. And we don't have admission. We are always grateful for donations. Small museums do better with donation boxes than actual admission costs. We have renters upstairs, and that helps defray our expenses. We have the Nevada Cattlemen's Association, which is a perfect partnership for us. And we have a small store that we'd like to expand down the road for additional income. We run on a real tight shoestring budget. We have some wonderful volunteers that come in from time to time and help us when I have a day off or something. We just enjoy being part of our community and celebrating our heritage and knowing our friends, whether they're local people or visitors that come through, whether it's once in a lifetime or it's a great place to show your company when it comes of what else is available to see and do here in Elko. Well, we love to have visitors downtown Elko, and we like people. We like having visitors, whether you're local or out of town or a combination of both, new and old people here in Elko. And we appreciate that people are generous and shop local and help sustain our local economy. It's easy to shop on Amazon and go to the big box stores, but this is where when kids have raffles or you have those benefit things that go on, it's those small businesses that are owned by local people that are the ones that are the heart and the lifeblood of the community, the soul of the community, you might call it.
Thank you so much, Jan, for sharing that information with us and spending time with Anthony around town yet again. We definitely appreciate you, all your hard work, and everybody who makes this local museum possible. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this Anthony Around Town video. Thank you so much for tuning in, but a couple of things before you go. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then maybe consider hitting the subscribe button down below, ring the bell, turn on notifications so you stay up to date on all of our content here on this platform. If you're watching this video on Facebook, then maybe consider going over to our Facebook page and giving that page a like. We post updates and new content and live streams and all sorts of good stuff over there all the time. You can also find Anthony Around Town on Twitter and Instagram. Just search Anthony Around Town on both. But if you're not really into the social media game and you just want one spot to go to check out all of our content, then you can just go to our main site, anthonyaroundtown.com. That's anthonyaroundtown.com. That's where all of our stuff is housed, our videos, our blogs, our live streams, all that sort of good stuff right over there, anthonyaroundtown.com. Alright guys, well yet again, that's going to do it for this Anthony Around Town video. Get yourself down here, downtown Elko, and check out not only the Cowboy Arts and Gear Museum, but the other local businesses here as well, especially during this holiday season. But until next time, I'm Anthony Crosby, and we'll see you around Elko.